maintain that with the Constitution, and it bans slavery above the Ohio River. It bans slavery, which means that all of the southern states that become slave states, this is never a national issue, because Georgia and North Carolina basically have territories that expand all the way west, and basically, you know, Kentucky and Alabama and Mississippi, those are basically chunks of territory that are chopped off of Georgia's land. These were never territories of the United States. These are actually part of states that already had slavery. So adding slavery to those states was never a federal issue. That was not a federal issue. Where we come into where the thing starts to heat up is when we get the Missouri Compromise, and then when Missouri wants to enter as a slave state, we have the Missouri Compromise where we crack Maine off of Massachusetts. We have to maintain a balance of power in the Senate. That's what we're looking for. The Southerners know that they have no chance in the House of Representatives. They do not have the population. The representation in the House of Representatives is proportional population. They do not have the population to win the House of Representatives. That's lost to them. However, they can make a stand in the Senate. They can maintain, because 2 senators per state, as long as we have a balance of southern states or slave states and non-slave states, we can maintain a balance of power in the Senate. And with the Louisiana Purchase and Missouri coming in as a state, Missouri could come in as a slave state. We'll crack Massachusetts and create another northern state called Maine. So we'll have 2 senators from Maine, 2 senators from Missouri. We'll maintain that balance. And then sort of the southern boundary of Missouri, 3630, is going to be a line by which slavery isn't going to exist north of that. So that's sort of the compromise they pulled. We're basically, through this territorial expansion, every time the United States expands, this issue of sectionalism, and this is because these are not territories. Territories are managed by the federal government. These are not things that are cracked off the states. The federal government has to weigh in and sort of make a decision here. So Louisiana purchased the Missouri Compromise, and then later on, we've got this issue of popular sovereignty, which is, you know, Stephen Douglas. It's actually a guy named Lewis Cass who sort of invented, but this idea that you know, there's this desperate attempt. There's a desperate attempt going on that if we can just get this slavery issue out of the Senate, out of the federal government, because it threatens to tear the system apart. It threatens secession and civil war. If we can get it out of the politics of the national government and back to the states, maybe we can avoid a civil war. And so popular sovereignty in a way is a way, well, we'll take it out of the hands of the federal government. We'll let the people in the states decide. You know, we'll just have a vote. And every time a state territory becomes a state,